Choosing a realtor, whether you're buying or selling, is a bigger decision than some people realize. And the consequences of making the wrong decision usually don't show up right away, they show up later. Almost everybody knows somebody who they could use, a family member or a friend, or just somebody that they know that happens to have their license. And the truth is, knowing somebody and being well represented by them are two different things entirely. That doesn't automatically make them a bad realtor, it just means that they may not be the right fit for you. So I'm making this video for buyers and sellers who are trying to figure out how to choose a realtor thoughtfully and not just going with somebody that they know or the one with the flashiest marketing or one with a really nice Instagram bio. If we haven't met yet, my name is Jonathan Van Gassen. I'm a local realtor here in Sarnia, Ontario, and I've been a realtor for about 4 years now, and I've helped first-time buyers, seasoned investors, and sellers through what most would say is a pretty rough market. And this isn't going to be a video of me trying to convince you to use me as your realtor. I just want to give you the tools you need to pick the right one for you because I've seen firsthand how the wrong choice can play out. But if you like what I have to say and you want to talk about your specific scenario one-on-one, you can go to the description, click the link, and you can book a call with me. You can just have a conversation, no pressure. So here's something that I've really realized in my time in real estate so far, and you may have noticed already, and I knew this before as well, but it really brought more light to it now that I'm in the industry, is that realtors love their awards. They love to put them in their Instagram bios, they love to put them on their signs, and they love to use it on their websites. And I'd be lying to you if I haven't put it in my own website, but I don't put as much weight to it as some others would. But what you need to realize is that you don't know what those awards actually represent. Some are based on volume, some are based on the amount of commission earned, and some are just internal brokerage awards. And some sound a lot bigger than they really are. There are awards out there where an agent might have to close only 1 to 3 deals and still get recognition for it. And that from the outside looks like a major achievement, or it can definitely be propped up to look like one. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a bad agent, but it doesn't really tell you what you need to know when you're choosing a realtor for yourself. Because here's the truth, those awards, they measure output, but they don't measure judgment. They don't tell you how this person handles pressure, how they negotiate when things get messy, or how to communicate with you when something goes sideways. Now, I'll be transparent with you. I've won real estate awards every single year since I got into this industry. And yes, like I said before, I do have it mentioned on my website, but it's not what my whole value proposition is based on. And I'll also tell you this, last year on paper was my worst year yet in real estate. Not because I did a bad job and not because my clients weren't taken care of, but because I took my foot off the gas a little bit last year. Because we had a baby and I wanted to focus on my family. The work didn't suffer, but the volume did. And yet I still won an award last year. I swear I'm not bragging, I'm really just trying to prove my point. But if you judge me based on that award or the numbers, you'd probably draw the wrong conclusion in either direction. That's how shallow these metrics can be when they're taken out of context. Here's the real risk when you strictly choose your realtor based on awards or just simply because you know them. You might end up hiring somebody who does great when the deals are easy and the market's forgiving, but struggles when the conditions tighten like they have in the last few years. You might end up working with somebody whose communication style doesn't match yours, and that adds friction to an already stressful and expensive emotional process. Or you've assumed competence when it was really just momentum, and the trade-off is pretty simple but serious. You feel confident at the beginning and frustrated later when the expectation doesn't meet the experience. Awards don't predict how smooth the transaction will feel. They don't predict how protected you will be when things get complicated. They predict one thing: somebody met a number. Like I said, I don't like to brag about awards, and even though this video might seem like I am, to me, they're like a private measuring stick. They tell me whether I'm improving year over year, if my systems are getting sharper, and if I'm staying disciplined. And sure, they do kind of tell me how I'm stacking up against my competition, because in the end, I am pretty competitive. But they are not a complete measure of how good an agent actually is. So my advice for someone who is trying to choose a realtor is to focus on these 2 things. First is reviews, and not just a star rating, but the language within them. Do those reviews mention good communication, calmness under pressure, and good problem-solving skills? Things like that. And second is alignment. Do you actually like how this person thinks? Can they explain trade-offs to you clearly? And do they talk with you instead of at you? That alignment alone can change the entire feel of a buying or selling transaction, especially if the market isn't cooperating. The best agent for you is not always the loudest one. It's the one whose judgment you trust when the decisions aren't obvious. So no, awards aren't useless, they're just an incomplete picture. And when you treat them as proof instead of context, you're letting marketing decide one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. So my advice to you is to choose judgment over trophies, and to choose communication over titles, and to choose a realtor that you can trust to explain the downsides and not just sell you on the upside. Like I said, if you live in the Sarnia-Lambton area and you'd like to have a talk, you can book a call with me at the link in the description below. That conversation alone could save you from a lot of avoidable mistakes, whether you end up using me as a realtor or not. And if you're in the very early stages, just thinking about it, and you just want to know how the process goes, there's another link in the description where you can download one of my buyer's guides, seller's guides, or I have a bundle package where it explains how you can use the two together if you're buying and selling at the same time. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.